So here's what's going to happen. I'll speak for a little bit. Then we'll invite Lawrence Pulgram, member of the Pulgram family, Bill and Lucia's son, to come say some words. Then we'll have an artist who has shown in previous iterations of this gallery and in the current iteration, Lisa Guyton. And then we'll have our current arts coordinator who has put this show together, Gina Livingston. And then I will speak again. So that's the program. But I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. What is it about this place and this people that makes room for a vision so expansive it goes beyond all present or past possibility? When 55 years ago, a mother of 4 children could walk into a church, of all places, and understand that for a faith community to fully express itself, even beyond the boundaries of language, to fully create an experience of the holy, to touch the inner landscape of one's soul, and reach the outer realm of mystery, that we would need to be a home not just for spiritual seekers, but also for artists. And that art must push us past our comfort, must always challenge us to transform into people who are alive with vibrance and dynamism, alive with spark, to inspire a community who can stay awake to wonder, to know that the religious task is both to save the world and to savor the world. That we can value the role art plays in each of our spiritual journeys and our collective one. Lucia Pulgram came into this community, different iterations of it years ago in a different building entirely, and understood what was needed to infuse all of our senses with a sense of awe and wonder, risk, courage, and above all, freedom. So in honor of that amazing vision that Lucia Pulgram brought into this community, I would love to invite her son, Lawrence Pulgram, to come and share a little bit from the family.
Where this church is today is something that makes my family so proud. As people who all came through the UU church in our youth, our parents felt and lived the connection between creativity and community and spirituality. Mom was an artist. She ultimately had a retrospective here after 85 years of painting. She was a fabulous curator. She had an eye, she had a heart, and she had a commitment to bringing to the Unitarian Church in particular things that were provocative, that were inspirational, that were whimsical, that made the process of going through all the things that we do in church that much more engaging, that brought people to the thought and the creation that art can be. Mom grew up in Atlanta. She was a 6th generation Atlantan, a lapsed Catholic. Her husband was a refugee from Nazi-invaded Austria, whose family was murdered in the Holocaust. He became a pioneering architect and space designer, and she worked with him some in the curation of art for the work that he did. But the main thing that she did was mount over 100 exhibitions at the Unitarian Church over years starting in 1965. In 1965, there were very few innovative, progressive, avant-garde art spaces in Atlanta, and she made one with the support of so many people in the church at that time. And when you walked around that church, you would see and you would feel the world come in and the creativity go out. And it was part of what that place is. And it is so exciting for us to see that realized here, because the space that you have, that you've created, that Dick Bunn helped liaise with your team on behalf of the family in thinking about how this space should work, it's going to be great. It is great. The first exhibition just feels perfect. And for us, it's a realization of what our parents had thought about and what the family wanted to see happen. The vision that my mother had was to prioritize diversity and inclusion, going back to 1965, to talk about opportunities for local artists from around the Southeast, emerging and innovative artists, a variety of media, and engaging the community in the transformational power of visual art. As I said, they felt and lived that connection. One of the connections that Mom made personally was with an artist named Jungran No, who was one that was studying at Georgia State University when Mom mounted her show here, or there, but here because this is there. They had a long friendship. And when Mom did the press release for Jungran's show, this is what they wrote about Jungran's vision for art, and I think it really carries through. The most beautiful thing in the world is the world itself. I like to travel to see nature or man-made nature. There I meet the acme of creation. The form of landscape sometimes tells me an image and illusion of certain forms and mass of color. It's so passionate that I want to transfer the image into a more beautiful abstract plane in my personal way. I mingle colors, sometimes dreamy and sometimes violently, into a swirling and coherent mass. It becomes a nature map. The colorful map can be seen in the vacuum space, and it sounds like a great symphony. The color and sound are playing together. At that moment, I encounter the reality of the creation of God or nature in me. May the new gallery provide us all those opportunities. And thank you so much for making it happen.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, and thank you so much to the Pulgram family for inspiration and support of this gallery, to keep these connections, to bring the world in and let creativity out. I love that. So next, I want to invite someone who didn't realize she was going to be speaking before so many people and expresses herself, I think, best visually, and is just a wonderful longtime member of UCA in support of the arts. She's also been a member of the arts vision team that has created the mission statement and vision for this gallery over the past couple of years. She has the experience of showing in previous iterations of the gallery at UCA, and she's also in this show, which is still kind of emerging. We're still building this show for the grand opening of the show, which will be November 6th. So anyway, just excited to invite UCA member and artist Lisa Guyton.
Talk a little bit about my experience. Came to UCA in 1996 or 7, and came into the building. John and I came and immediately saw the art in this at Cliff Valley, and I immediately was like, wow, this is a really special place. Over the years, I enjoyed seeing all the shows that were mounted, and did get to help Ruth Gogol hang some of the shows. But what I really enjoyed, I think, from the very beginning was how after the service, people would walk around and with their coffee and look at the artwork. And I would often get into really interesting conversations. And it was just another enriching place, an enriching aspect of being at UUCA. And it wasn't something that I think happens in, everyday churches. And so it really was wonderful. And then I was able to have a show at UUCA with my work, and it was really a very special time because I got to hang a lot of my work, and also people who didn't really know that I was an artist got to see my work. So it was like friends seeing another aspect of me. And I just am really excited to see this going forward, and the vision that UUCA has is really strong, and I know it's going to enrich our community here and the whole Atlanta community. So I'm just thrilled for it.
So I just want to, I hope you understand that this is a new era of this art at UCA that we are launching. It is a gallery and beyond. So we know the word of our spiritual watchword of the year is beyond. And we are taking this beyond ourselves, beyond the walls. So just want to give you a sense of some of the programming that is going on to support and deepen people's interaction with our first show, Wake Now My Senses, which is also going to coincide with our worship series, Wake Now My Senses. So we have an event October 13th and 15th, a class, How to Look at Abstract Art. So this is a way for people to really engage deeply and enrich their experience with it. Thinking about senses, we also have an essential oil workshop that will happen. I'm really excited about that. A touch bodywork, Skinner releasing workshop. And we are launching in November what will be First Fridays at UUCA in Atlanta. So that will be an art opening, some music, a food pop-up of someone who is doing something emerging and interesting in the realm of food and cuisine, dance, all kinds of different activities going on First Fridays at UCA. So we really want this to be a big arts destination, not just for the members, but for all of Atlanta. We're also talking about a special dinner club to explore taste, the 5 tastes as part of that dinner for Wake Now My Senses. And then finally, a class at watercolor for non-artists class. That's not finally, there's also like a book club, right? Literary arts, so many things happening. I really hope you'll go and sign up for those on our website and in the weekly update email that goes out, and you can catch some flyers on your way out. So the person who is helping to dream all of this up is somebody who I met at a gallery in Grant Park where a number of artists had come to gather out of some pain and harm that had happened in the community. There was an artist who had been very problematic against a lot of female artists in Atlanta. And so those artists came together to kind of reclaim that gallery space and came together to just talk through what had happened to them. And Gina was the curator of that show, which became kind of like a Me Too response show for artists who were responding to sexual violence in Atlanta. It was an incredible show. It was so much art was sold. It was so dynamic and diverse. And I even got to teach some classes on spiritual healing from sexual violence as a part of that. And I was just there to offer a comforting presence to some of those artists who were really struggling and wanting to regain their power. So it was in that environment where I met Gina Rubano Livingston, who created a healing space out of trauma so beautifully and so powerfully, and who is connected to the artists who we know we want to bring in here, artists who are young, diverse, queer, BIPOC, just all the different experiences to bring the world here and let creativity out. So, and she has shepherded our arts vision process. So just to want to invite you to our arts coordinator, Gina Livingston.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of the Pulgram Gallery and the arts that are happening here at UUCA. We spent some time during the pandemic with a group of members and artists to envision what art in this spiritual space would look like. And the vision is really broad and sweeping. And specifically with the gallery, what we talked about was creating multiple pathways to enter into art. And framing all of the exhibitions in terms of what the worship series looks like in this space, so that not only if somebody comes and they want to get into the spiritual message through a book club, they can do that and then also come and have that reinforced in the gallery, and then come in and hear a sermon and have it reinforced so that their spiritual growth is very broad and deep. And part of the visioning process that was very important to everybody was to really carry on the traditions that the gallery had already established, to make sure that we are supporting emerging artists who are tackling subjects that make us think about our place in the world and how we move through it, to support emerging curators. This is the last show that I will curate here. We are going out into the community and looking for people who need that experience to come in and then work with me and the team that we have to get some experience and to launch those careers. We have artists in this show who are mid-career artists, who are emerging artists. We have one artist, Elise Thomason, who this is the first show that she's been a part of, and her work is incredible. So we're continuing all of the things that have been established for a long time and making it go further. And with each exhibition that we have, you'll see a slate of programming like the one for this. Again, how can we get people from outside of this congregation to be interested in coming here? Maybe a dinner club that has an interesting theme is a way to bring somebody in, and then all of a sudden they get excited about the gallery and coming to worship here with us all. You said so much that's so beautiful and right about this, and I am sort of loath to talk in front of big groups of people, but that's why I stay in the back. But I will say that our next exhibition upcoming will be on Afrofuturism. And if you're not familiar with Afrofuturism as a genre, I think the most sort of pop culture thing to touch on would be Wakanda and Black Panther. So Black Panther is an Afrofuturist film. But the real purpose of Afrofuturism is to break the narratives of slavery that we have so embedded in everything that the Black community experiences here, but to further say, what does life look like if we weren't tethered to that entirely? And one of my favorite Afrofuturists says that, Rick Griffith is his name, and he says, we do that through love and space travel. So we're going to be exploring that, and then after that, our worship theme is wild and holy. And the artist who wants to curate that, I really want to say it, but I'm going to wait until the contract's signed. But y'all are going to lose your minds. It's going to be so incredible. And And so just to invite you all to join in, we have an arts coordinating team. We've got a literary coordinating team. There's the performing arts coordinating team. All of these things are going to be working in concert to provide this community and everybody beyond with the most incredible arts experience in Atlanta. So thanks, y'all.
It's fully going to be the most incredible arts experience in Atlanta, like very soon. There are so many people already signing up for these things. And I forgot to mention, we will also have an artist in residency program, which will benefit UCA in so many ways, just in the culture, the worship, the way we do things. It will help us kind of look at ourselves and look at the world in a different way. That will be the Gogol residency. And I think that's beginning in October with, okay, yeah, real quick. But up here. And in that thing.
In this thing, yeah. So the Ruth Gogol Artist in Residency program will be, we will host 4 artists a year for 3 months. Our first artist is a group that actually the UCA community might know. It's Citizen Advocacy. Yeah, so they're coming in starting this month, and they're pairing their citizen advocate pairs with artists in the community to create a piece of artwork that tells the story of that advocate pair. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. We don't know what's going to come out of it, which is the most exciting part, but they're looking at a spring exhibition of that work that we'll hopefully get a chance to host, and so that's really exciting. And then we have other artists that's kind of starting to get out. I should say this, that one of the most incredible things about this space and this community is how much intent was put into making this an accessible space. So I have been talking with artists in the disability community who are overjoyed that there is a space that has an integrated ramp that's not separate from the performing space, to have a fully accessible building for artists to come in and show their work and be supported. I was on a call yesterday with a woman who was just literally in tears because there aren't spaces like this for disabled artists. So it's really great. Cheers to all you guys.
So we hope that you will take a look at the exhibition that is currently emerging. We hope that the family likes the logo that we have. Oh, yay, the 2 thumbs up. Yeah, we're excited about it. So this is like the fastest gallery show that I think has ever come together in the history of galleries. So 2 weeks ago, we didn't really have a show, and now we do. So we hope you'll spend some time, but let me just bless this space and this vision. May this Pulgram Gallery be a place where emerging artists feel trusted to explore, where art becomes the instrument by which we expand worth and dignity, connecting to our UU source of awe and wonder at the mysteries of life. May we take bold risks beyond our comfort and meet a more expansive world of ideas and actions beyond our knowing. May our gallery be an invitation to struggle, to explore, to question, and to discover a connection that requires more of us. May we be invited to cross thresholds into deeper understanding of the world around us and the world within. May the Pulgram Gallery bless all who enter with holy beauty and the courage to experience a life beyond the one we know already. May this gallery be a springboard for community, the entire community, to encounter its own liberation, courage, and risk. May we be worthy of such bravery. May we welcome the strange, the wild, the completely unique. May whatever we encounter in this gallery bring us closer to our own call of the Spirit and our own sense of freedom. Blessings upon the Pulgram Gallery, blessings upon us all. Amen.